everybody, and welcome to the show from Common Room Radio. I'm Sarah Kate Bazan, and Merry Christmas!
I'm Vinton Bain, and happy holidays.
I'm Alistair Stevens, and season's greetings, one and all. We are gathered here on Christmas morning as you guys are hearing this. I presume you're all downloading this on Christmas morning, right?
Yeah, what are you doing? Spending time with your family? Stop that.
Nope. We are here to offer you our commentary track for a very fine cinematic production for one of the high watermarks in animated storytelling here in the year of our Lord 2017. This is Marvel Superhero Adventures Frostfight on Netflix. You can go and find this. We were going to talk a little about the history of Santa Claus in the Marvel 616 universe, but all of the comics which tell that story, weird and outrageous as they are not available through Marvel Unlimited. So we haven't been able to do our due diligence. So instead, we're gathering together. We've got some coffee. We've got some wine. We're just going to talk all over this, I don't know, what is it, hour and a quarter movie that came out in 2015 from the animated wing of Marvel Studios.
I've never seen this. I'm so excited. Again, if Tony does not learn the true meaning of Christmas by the end of this film, I quit the podcast. So.
What if we start the film with Tony already knowing the true meaning of Christmas?
Oh, well, then what the hell am I doing here?
Someone will learn something somewhere. We're also going to have the opportunity to talk about Captain Marvel for, I think, the first time on the Excelsior podcast.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, this is a weird introduction to Carol Danvers, but hey, this is what we've decided to do. So we are queued up to the title card, to the Marvel Superhero Adventures Frostfight title card. Go to your Netflix machine, make that thing happen, and then press play when I say play, and we'll watch it all together. 3, 2, 1, play. It's so festive. Sleigh bells and everything. It's perfect.
My golly.
Music's nice.
Okay.
This does not look particularly festive or Christmassy.
No, this looks like a tropical island.
Monteriki Island.
Oh,
they got covered in ice. Oh, no.
Frost.
So, Alistair, you already watched this. You had to watch this with the... You got to watch this with the children.
It was my privilege, nay, honor, to watch this. Yes. I have seen about, I would estimate, 60% of this movie already. Just in chunks of it.
So yeah, I haven't watched this either. This ice giant looks like he belongs in the 90s animated show Gargoyles.
The animation I kind of like here. It's very simple animation. It does kind of look like, that's all right, we can't edit anything out of a commentary track. So
my coffee cup got stuck to the coffee saucer beneath it. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Oh, look,
boy.
They took Tony's face interface from the movies.
They lifted it directly.
I love Tony's like UI stuff. I also love to imagine Robert Downey Jr. just being in his little like green screen box, like just talking
Get
to
in your box,
himself.
Robert.
Get in your box, RDJ.
I know it's off topic, but I just saw a GIF image of the Flash and Supergirl both without green screen, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever to see him swirling his arms to create tornadoes, but there's nothing there, and then her just jumping in the air to fly, but then just landing back again and waiting for somebody to cut it.
That's amazing. I saw a GIF earlier that was, or it wasn't quite a GIF, it was actually a little video like shot, like a little, it was a video. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I have forgotten how to speak. And we can't edit any of this, that's fine. But it was when they were doing The Force Awakens, so it's Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and Harrison Ford in the Millennium Falcon, and Daisy Ridley says, I never knew that there was this much green in the universe, and it cuts to the window, and it's a green screen.
That's so perfect.
And so somebody had tweeted this, and was just like, how did they not just laugh through this entire sequence? Who is this?
We're going to get an introduction to Reptile.
What is a Reptile?
Yeah, well, he is a Reptile. We need a boy sidekick for the Avengers here, and Rick Jones
he's
was not
got like
available.
weird lizard arms.
Yeah,
his power set is a little weird.
Like reptile. Okay, but like what is like? Is this strictly a cartoon person? Okay,
yes.
so
I
not
Reptile is in the comics.
Look, there's Carol.
I didn't even know that.
He's
That's
not a big
insane.
character, but
Wow.
he's a time character. There's my Carol.
I look forward to trying to figure out, by the way, Reptile's power set as we're moving through this movie.
Oh, that'll be really
it
fun.
Seems bananas. So we're getting the introduction to the Frost Giants and the Cask of Ancient Winters. Hey, we've met that before. This is an established part of MCU continuity.
Yes.
I like that Tony's been making the worst
that
puns,
was a
and
terrible,
now Hulk's making the
that
worst
was a terrible
puns.
pun.
Hulk has evolved into Pun Hulk.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Hulk.
Hulk.
So here's a fun fact. I know absolutely nothing about Carol Danvers except what I learned from when we were playing Earth 405, the Marvel's Avengers Heroes Fate system, whatever the heck it was run under. And our friend Alan played Carol Danvers for a while. And so I don't know everything that I know about Carol and love about Carol. It's actually Alan Beck's acting as this character that he also knew absolutely nothing about. He just like made some choices and made some decisions. But I now have a very deep fondness for Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel without...
Right, but you have a fondness for Alan's particular feisty, horny Carol Danvers, and that's not necessarily...
It's not
Was
maybe
she... Wait,
the way-
It's not
horny
that.
is not necessarily how I would describe it in
were a
that
few
game.
moments.
Oh, okay, sure.
Plus, it's just Alan bringing his natural
Oh,
muscle
right,
to the
right, right,
role.
yeah.
His natural manliness to that performance, yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, Carol Danvers has a very long and complicated history in the Marvel Universe. You might be surprised to know that she's only been Captain Marvel for maybe almost 6 years now.
I think I did know that because we had, one of the first episodes we
You're
did.
missing your reveal.
Oh, it's Loki. Whatever.
Loki.
Anyway.
Guess who's behind it? It's Loki.
But whenever we were doing the Miss Marvel comic with Kamala Khan, we were talking a little bit about Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel and all of this. So here's my question. When Captain Marvel and Captain America are hanging out, who gets Cap privileges? Like, who gets to be called Cap?
I don't
It
think
should be Captain
anyone
America.
calls
I mean.
Captain Marvel Cap.
What do they just call her Captain Marvel or Carol
Captain.
Captain? Okay.
Oh, Captain, my Captain? Oh,
Captain, my Captain.
Oh, Captains, my Captains.
Both rather brilliant. Like, the whole Captain title has been parodied throughout the history of superhero comics, but brilliantly, both Steve Rogers and Carol Danvers, actual captains, actual
Yes.
military captains.
That's right, because
holders
she was
of
in
that
the Air
rank.
Force, right?
Yes, she was. She was a
Okay.
test pilot, yeah.
I'm so excited for
Hey, we
Captain.
got a sky beam. We got a sky
wow,
portal.
that
We got
was
everything we need for an
is the
MCU
movie
movie.
over? That was so quick.
Carol, brush your hair. What is going on? Either have the mohawk or have the long hair. You can't have both.
She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she's Carol Danvers.
Okay, so
Man, what is it with Captain America and constantly getting stuck in
it's a
ice?
thing. It's a thing.
How is he not just
Recurring. He
has an
afraid of
elemental
ice
vulnerability.
at this point? I guess
If
so.
you get the cap type Pokemon,
Yes, he's
So
resistant
before
to ice.
I forget, Reptile was made this first appearance in Avengers: The Initiative, later showing up in Avengers Academy, and lastly appearing in Avengers Arena.
Did
I
we
had
just get
no
like
idea.
a genital kick joke in
Yes,
this movie?
we certainly did.
Captain America just kick a chunk of ice into this ice
think
giant's
He looked
groin?
really
Impaled with
pleased
an
about
icicle.
it too. Did
Oh,
you see
my
that
Lord.
pleased look on his face?
Yeah, he was pretty happy about that. It's kind of a bully move, Cap.
just a little smirky there. It's a nice giant. It's not a person.
I can't wait till we can actually dive into the full history of Captain Marvel when she gets her own movie.
I know.
Yes,
I'm so
I'm
thrilled.
so
Brie
excited.
Larson is going to be so fantastic. I love Brie Larson.
If we
very,
encounter
very
a
much.
lull in this commentary, I might just start some of that.
Yeah, please. No,
I can't imagine we'll have a lull in the course of the next, hour and 5 minutes that remain to us in this
Right,
film.
right.
So
Loki,
Sky
what are you
Portal,
doing?
ice, terrible things. It's pretty much as expected. Christmas is standard so far
Oh,
here
no.
in the MCU.
Oh, no.
Reptile's
Reptile.
really worried that he's going to fly off into something, even though he can fly.
Yeah, where are your lizard arms, boy?
He's
Oh my god, he literally just said,
It was a
wait,
good
I
joke.
can
It was a
fly.
good joke. I like that. I
I
appreciate
made
that.
good joke.
Sky.
I
It's
can
not a
outlap
Skynado. We
this
already have a name for that.
Skynado.
It's a
It's just
tornado.
a tornado.
Yeah.
It's a tornado in the
This
sky.
hug is saving your
Skynado.
life. I'd rather perish.
See, we're literally saving the lives of the
Wait.
Avengers by hugging.
I got.
You're so
This is what I
sassy.
want.
I just got a notebook from you with team friendship with the three of us. I kind of wish I would have asked for Hulk hugging Thor, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel.
That'll be your birthday
That's always
present.
next
That
Christmas.
was
Yep.
a good image right there. Hulk hugs are the best hugs, unless you're not superhuman. In that case, you get broken ribs.
I like very much the characterization that we get for Tony Stark here. Like,
Yeah.
it is clearly MCU RDJ light.
Well, okay, so like Robert Downey Jr. completely changed the game for Iron Man. Like since then, every iteration of Iron Man, whether it be in like terrible YA books about Black Widow that aren't really about Black Widow, I'm not going to talk about it. Maybe we should talk about that in January, though. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
We should
or
talk
like
about things that make you happy, Sarah.
that's true. No, you're right. Or like every resulting comic has just been Robert Downey Jr. as
Yeah.
Tony Stark because he did
absolutely.
such a fantastic, amazing job.
He was born to play that role.
He absolutely was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, most people don't know this if they got into comics after the MCU. Iron Man and the Avengers weren't ever that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, but they
I
were
remember
never
hearing
touted
that,
as the
yeah.
biggest thing in Marvel. There was always the Fantastic Four and the X-Men
Right.
and Spider-Man, but they lost the rights to those things and had to change course a bit. Things might be changing in the comics. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the comics over the next 5 to 10 years now that they have all the rights back under one
Well,
house.
Yeah.
we were joking about this, but there is now no reason for the Inhumans. Marvel, you can stop. It's okay.
Stop.
You can just.
Is it still?
Someone somewhere
is it
just
still
took
going?
a breath.
Are they still
The
making
TV
Inhumans?
show?
Yeah.
The
Honestly,
TV show's
have no
done,
idea.
but I don't know. They haven't announced the second season. I also
Did
people
anybody
want that.
watch it?
I can't imagine.
I watched the first half.
Whoops!
And
Like of the
never
series
went
or of
back.
the first episode?
The first half of the series.
Oh,
I never
honey.
went back.
You
Oh,
are
dear.
devoted.
I know.
You're
I kept
dedicated.
thinking surely it's gonna, because I wanted to find out if it surprised some, but like everyone hated the first episode, but by the third episode it picked up and people just didn't know. Nope, it wasn't the case. Just wasn't the case.
We always want things to be good, right? We always want
Yeah.
things to be as good
Of
as they could
course,
possibly
yeah.
be. But yeah, we don't have to do the Inhumans now because Disney owns the X-Men. We're
True,
back.
yeah.
It's all there. We don't have to worry
This
about.
does raise some interesting
semi-mutants
questions
from the moon.
about the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver relationship. We lost one
Yes.
Quicksilver, but gained another Quicksilver, and I hope that we keep it all separate and that we just totally restart the X-Men universe.
I've already seen some discussion on, even in the comics, maybe resetting Magneto's parentage of the twins because
I think it's already happened.
well, in Ed Pisker's X-Men Grand Design, he hasn't explicitly said it, but they've only released issue 1, but he does have Magneto saving them. He is clearly putting them together, and he's basically writing the history of the X-Men as I assume is going to be the accepted canon after this. They gave him this for a reason, so he's doing this history of the X-Men, and it's the most beautiful, glorious thing, and all of you should go pick it up and support Ed Pisker. I wish I could buy like 100 issues and just hand them out to everybody that I meet.
So
on the
is
streets.
he their dad right now in that comic?
So he hasn't explicitly mentioned it because they just showed
Okay.
him like saving them and starting the Brotherhood, but they haven't focused enough on it for him to mention that.
Okay.
Next issue will probably touch on that.
Wait, so are
we'll
you
see.
telling me that the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are in this X-Men comic that just
Yes.
started? Oh my god,
Their
okay.
history.
Oh, okay.
So it's dealing with their first showing up and
Excellent.
what happens there.
Oh, hey, Santa Claus just showed up.
This
Oh
is,
yeah, we're watching
this
a
is our
movie.
introduction to
The
Yolnir,
powerful
who is
Yolnir?
Yolnir, who is part frost giant, part elf, as ancient as anyone in
Part
Asgard or
Mjolnir.
the other.
I was
part
fixing to
Mjolnir.
say one letter away from a magic thunder hammer.
If he's,
that
Monsieur
Korra?
Yolnir. That looks a lot like
Legend of Korra
Korra.
right there.
Holy smokes. So we talked a little about Santa Claus's.
Okay, Santa, getting a little scary.
We talked a little about Santa Claus's canonicity in the 616 universe. He is all over the place. There was a story. It's a weird thing that Marvel in the 616 became very, very popular in the early 1990s. There was a Howard the Duck comic that featured Santa Claus. There was a holiday special that featured Santa Claus actually, it was a flashback comic to...
I'm sorry. Loki just said, "Yes, I'm well aware of Santa Claus." Someone got
He's
cold
Being
pretty often.
very like
A lot of coal.
super what is the word, maudlin about Santa Claus right now, which is a weird choice for Loki.
Also, watch this right after the whole tiny controversy broke about Loki being, gender fluid and pansexual. And
Which he's always been in the
holy
comics
smokes.
and in the mythology.
Absolutely canonical. There it is. But
Like historically
I
canonical.
love how fey this version of Loki is. He's
Oh,
just
yeah?
ahead of the curve. He's not Tom Hiddlesoning this at all. He's just
Listen,
very...
we're real mad about Loki being gender fluid. We don't care that he had sex with wolves.
Nope.
Canonically, that's been a fine thing.
Don't care that he
Bestiality's
was the
great.
mother of Odin's
Gender
horse.
fluid.
Yeah, he straight up became not just a horse, but a female horse,
Yes,
and was
absolutely.
impregnated by a male horse.
That can
Still a
happen.
deer, a female horse.
Mythology is weird, you guys. So there is a story where Santa Claus is kidnapped by Adolf Hitler in 1943 to demoralize America,
Wait.
and Cap and Bucky have to go into Nazi Germany to literally rescue Santa Claus.
Is this still
I have a
Kid
nickel.
Bucky at that point?
It is, yes.
It had to have
Yes,
been, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was written long after the Cap reboot had happened and Bucky was
Okay,
lost forever,
okay.
but it was a flashback to those original stories. There is also a brilliant story, which I have read. I read it back in, 1998, 1999, something like that. This comes from a Marvel holiday special from 1991, in which Professor X's Cerebro machine detects the world's most powerful mutant in Rockefeller
Wanda.
Center.
Finds Wanda?
Turns out not actually Wanda. Turns out it's Santa Claus.
That
Santa Claus, canonically, the world's most powerful mutant. So the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants fight in Rockefeller Plaza, I guess, for a little while. Santa Claus turns the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants into toys for a moment.
Okay.
And then just decides that he's done with this and you all should learn the meaning of Christmas, and sends the X-Men home, sends the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants home, and goes off to
I think I
deliver
missed
presents.
something. Why are there dinosaurs now?
There was a transportation.
Did Loki just go back in time?
He might just be on an island of dinosaurs. Those things exist.
You know that there are dinosaurs in the Marvel Universe, right? In
What?
The 616.
On an island.
Do you not know about the Savage Land?
Savage Land.
What?
The Savage Land? We've talked
also
about
an X-Men
Khazar
thing.
on the podcast before? Or Khazar?
I mean,
Yeah, there's a
We have
Bobby's
between
corny?
This has happened, but I think you've forgotten because I remember you freaked out the first time we talked about it.
well, anytime
We
you bring
said
up
no
dinosaurs,
time and then ran on. And I think that's what
God,
happened.
that's the man.
Think about the
2017
616
mood.
universe. Dino DNA.
Okay, so who is this kid? Is this kid training to be an Avenger?
I think he is an Avenger canonically in this. And as Vinton was
Okay.
saying, he comes out of the Avengers Initiative when we had to
You're
invent
training to
a
join this
million
team someday,
new
is what Cap just said to
characters.
him.
kid sidekicks. To take them on a mission. It's fine.
I guess. I mean,
I
it's
wanted
fine.
you to believe in me. The catchphrase for every kid sidekick.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to be like you. I wanted you to be better.
I learned it from you.
Is this one of those cartoons where like the heroes are never out of their super outfit? Whoa, damn. Hi, Carol's butt. Jeez. Wow.
The kids are going to love this angle.
Well, the animators are going to just enjoy that afternoon at work, I think. Yeah. This is strong. I actually like the dynamic between Cap's America and Marvel.
So you mentioned Bucky earlier in the old comics, Santa, and that made me think of another comic recommendation I can throw out real quick that I read, Tales of Suspense 100 this week, which is one of the best comics. It's Bucky and Clint Hawkeye trying to track down Black Widow, who is supposedly dead, but they think she's alive.
His name is not Clint Hawkeye.
No, it's Clint Hawkeye. Yeah, he had it
Clint
legally
slash-
changed.
there was a pause for a slash in there.
Clint slash Hawkeye.
One of the best things about this is the letters page in the back is the author of the comic creating all these letters that supposedly he found in the bin from 1959 when Tales of Suspense it last was published in 1959, issue 99. So they're all letters talking about how, man, I sure hope that Iron Man gets his own series. That would be just great. And are we ever going to see that Captain guy again?
That's so
It's
cute.
fantastic. But the best part is the intro where he says, I went looking for a box of letters and I found this whole stack of unpublished Jack Kirby stories. So I threw those away and printed these letters. It's amazing. Everyone should pick up Tales of Suspense number 100.
I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled.
into what Marvel's doing with its legacy stuff now.
Yeah.
It hasn't done this ever before, really. It's amazing.
Listen, Marvel's making me very angry right now with all their cancellations of
Oh my
It's
God.
been a
bunch
tough
of
week,
amazing
you guys.
comics,
I
Yeah.
don't
especially
want to
comics
talk
by
about it, but I guess we need to talk about it a little bit.
Women and people of color apparently can't have comics anymore.
There was a statement that went out this morning saying, no. This is not a diversity thing, but when
You
it
didn't
looks
cancel any
this
comics
much,
about white dudes?
Yup.
And they kept Monsters Unleashed, written by a white dude, has the worst selling numbers.
Yeah.
That's
Its
ridiculous.
published numbers are the worst.
Oh, we have
it is
our
ridiculous.
obligatory Jurassic Park rip just then.
But to be fair, most of the creators that got canceled are really hopeful, saying that they have other projects with Marvel possibly in the
Okay.
works. So
Okay. Well,
we'll see what
all right.
happens. Give it a little time. I'm hoping
This
things
is
will turn
something that
around.
Marvel has done repeatedly over the course of the last few years. Announce a slew of cancellations and then come out the following week or the week after with new announcements,
Okay.
just moving creative teams around from book to book. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that that's what we're going to get.
too.
We're going to see a refocusing here, but Marvel still doesn't really feel like it knows what it's doing. There are breakout
It
individual
really
titles.
does.
but
Like,
wow.
I don't know what the situation is over there, but it sure feels like they've got just like a bunch of hats and like a bunch of like different like comic titles
Speaking of
in these
different hats,
hats,
the
and
Hulk's
there's
wearing a top hat
he's
right
not wearing a top hat. It's really great, and they're just like scrambling all this stuff together. I don't know, like it feels like there's no real like thought to it. It feels like they're all just getting really drunk and just saying a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
My biggest frustration is that every most amazing, iconic book that comes out of Marvel only lasts like 10 to 12 issues before they cancel it.
It's driving me crazy. I can't. I mean, I thought that I was devastated whenever
got
I found out
dinosaur
that
head now, I'm
Reptile
sorry.
just transformed into a T-Rex.
He's
What was I
part
going to
devil
say?
dinosaur.
Oh God, what was happening? I thought that like my heart was completely broken and that I would never be able to like feel again after I found out that Mockingbird was being canceled. And then they canceled Unstoppable Wasp, and now they're canceling Kate Bishop Hawkeye, and all. I mean, like just it's like thing after thing after thing, and I'm like, I need to stop liking things.
Is there just an argument that this is what is happening to the comics industry and we're just not going to get ongoing titles? Should Marvel just stop announcing things as ongoing titles and keep everything as a
I
limited
would
series?
be perfectly happy if you
That
just
would be
kept
okay.
the main ongoings, one X-Men, one Spider-Man, one Avengers.
Yeah, one
but then
Fantastic
just did
Four, yeah.
short stories for everything else like Valiant does, where everything only lasts 12 issues before it gets relaunched with a new creative team
Yeah.
for a new story.
Yeah, okay, that would actually work out really well because then it's just like, and we've talked about this before. Then
would
it's
work
just
out perfectly
seasons.
for us
and
covering
it's just-
things.
yes. Also, then it's just seasons of television, right?
Yeah.
And it's just you've got A Force for a little bit, and then
Right.
A Force is done, and then you pick up something else, and then
And you
someone
don't
else comes
have
back.
this idea that a story runs for 18 issues and then it's canceled. It just
Yeah.
runs for 18 issues and then it's
And then that
done.
story
and
is
you don't
done.
get the disappointment
Yes,
that comes with
yes.
it. And we'll also possibly encourage creators to, tidy up after themselves.
Yeah, and then
tell a
Yeah.
complete story.
someone will go back and pick up on that later. So you'll have A-Force, a New Dawn, and
Yeah.
then 2 years later, A-Force, a new mission. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm bad
Yeah.
at subtitles, apparently.
A-Force, the Thanos tie-in.
Yes.
So this giant dinosaur was cuddling with reptile. I mean, it's all gone.
Wait. We're going to hit
We're
the
in space
hardest
now.
pivot.
What?
There is no way that you
There's
could see
Rocket
this
and Groot.
coming, but sudden Rocket and Groot.
Suddenly appears a Rocket and Groot.
What the hell?
Sarah, do you know much about the origin of Groot in the comics?
No.
He first appeared back in the really old Fantastic Four comics, I think in the 60s. I might be off on that a little bit because I don't know what
I think
issue
it was the late
exactly.
60s. No, I think it was, yeah.
As a villain that came to destroy New York.
Was he able to speak then?
He said, I am Groot.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely in the tradition of just classic monsters.
He was
Okay.
from
just showed up
Planet
and
X.
rampaged. Yes,
Sure.
of course,
and
naturally.
so many things come
Yeah.
from Planet X. Everything. Adhesive X is from
Rocket
Planet
Raccoon
X.
first appeared being called Rocky Raccoon and we wouldn't later find out until like, I think 5 to 10 years later that Rocky was short for Rocket.
That's cute. Oh man. Like there is a special place in my heart for this angry little fuzzball.
So these
Mass
two,
burglary and animal cruelty is what he just described
Yes.
Santa Claus as.
Santa Claus, mass burglary, animal cruelty, stealing cookies from kids.
Oh my gosh.
So there was an interstellar
bounty.
bounty
Yeah.
out on Santa Claus.
So of
Wait,
course
the
Rocket
galaxy
wants it.
wants to arrest
Yup.
Santa Claus?
Yep.
There's a Disney XD short with Rocket and Groot, just of them. It's like 2-minute episodes, like 10 of them being bounty hunters, just running around trying to raise money to get a new ship.
That's
It's
amazing.
pretty adorable. But yeah,
Are we
so
in Wreck-It Ralph? What
It
happened?
does look like.
Oh, yeah, this is
Candy-
Sugar Rush,
or the
yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar Rush. I almost said
Oh,
Candy
good
Crush.
pull.
It's
I
not
couldn't
Candy
remember.
Crush.
I was like,
Yeah,
where we found Vanellope. I don't know.
I really like that movie.
Wreck-It Ralph is very good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it a lot of fun.
No,
I'm
it's really
interested
great.
in the sequel to see what happens there.
I don't really care about a Wreck-It Ralph sequel. I also, even though I am like the biggest Frozen apologist that I know,
Yeah.
I don't really care about the Frozen sequel.
There are things to be said about it. If the story's good enough, just leave it alone.
Just leave it
It's great.
alone.
We need a
Like,
sequel.
I didn't get a chance to go see Coco, although I heard amazing things about
haven't
Coco.
seen it
But
yet
the thing
either.
that everybody hated about Coco was the 30-minute Frozen short in front of Coco. And gang, when it's 30 minutes, it's no longer a short.
Nope, it's a TV episode.
It's a TV
Yeah.
episode.
They made you watch before the movie.
They've now pulled that from all
probably
airings
wise,
of Coco because
yes.
the outcry was
Like,
so
I want to
profound.
see it, but like, what are you doing? Stop this.
Well, if you know it's there, why is there not? Just wait 30 minutes before going in.
Apparently, some people did, but then because of like trailers and things in front, it still was not enough time to lose it. Because
Yeah.
you know how like a movie starts at 7, it doesn't
just
really
never
start
know.
till
Ah,
7:30.
I'm never confident enough
That's
to
true.
think about showing up for a movie late. I have no idea.
Yeah,
how
there's
long
no
the trailers
telling.
are going to
True.
run or the
Is it
ads are going to run.
all trailers? No
I
trailers?
need to learn about the new Google Pixel 2, you guys. I need to learn
Oh
everything
my
there is to
God.
know about it.
I'm not going to get a Google Pixel 2. You know why? Because it doesn't have a 3.5 millimeter jack.
No phones will. Like, that means that you are sticking with the current phone that you own
Well,
for
no,
the rest
not
of your
this
life.
current phone. This phone is a piece of shit. I'm getting a regular Pixel for my birthday. Sorry, I've been really frustrated with my iPhone lately because Apple is like slowing all of the phones down and doing that thing where it just slowly dismantles, the
Yeah.
most important
They
piece of
did
technology in my
release,
Basic
life.
infrastructure.
A thing about
Yeah.
that, saying that they were doing that to save battery with their
Yep.
updates because of the old phones, and that you can pick one or the other. And I'm like, okay, sure, let me pick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not you.
yeah.
That is
you
the
don't
thing
get
that
to
I
be in
like
charge of my
about
phone.
Android is that it's open in that way. I have an
Yes.
Nexus 5X right now, which is actually a really solid phone, but is struggling a little bit under the new Android update. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at a Pixel 2, actually. So
That's all
I'm
fair.
looking at a Pixel as well.
As well.
Yes. In addition to you, I also with the Pixel.
I'm 90% sure I'm just going to get an iPhone 10 next in about a month or two.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I'm pretty
All right.
dedicated to the Apple brand.
I think, you either go one way or the other, right?
Right,
If you're
yeah.
going to do Apple, just commit to
Yeah.
it. Just
Yeah.
go all in and
I
make
think
that
it's
thing
my
happen.
love of the MacBook that makes my
That
phone
makes
fine.
sense.
It's like I love the connectivity,
Sure.
so I'm just going to stick with the iPhone because my MacBook is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, no, MacBooks
Aw.
are fantastic. Were fantastic. Anyway, I don't know about the new the MacBooks with the new low profile keyboard.
Yeah, I don't
like
have
that
any of
keyboard
that.
at all.
I got mine before that.
I'm
So.
gonna
that
have to get a new
classic
computer
chiclet
in the next
keyboard
couple of
may
years.
be
My
the best
laptop's
keyboard.
like 4 years old at this point now. It is so weird to me that Reptile is in this film when you've got. I mean, like it could have been Spider-Man. It could
Thanks
have
for bringing
been
it back.
Bucky. It could have been. Yeah, we were like a
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
like technology podcast for a little bit there. Sorry,
Well, Tony
gang.
was here, so we were
yeah,
kinda
no, Tony
connected.
showed up and we started talking tech. Talking tech would be a good name for that podcast. It's probably already
Okay,
taken.
Hulk, maybe don't just like throw the kid off your shoulder and
Like
break
this
his
kid's
neck.
15?
Nothing
Anyway,
is
there's
impossible
You're
if
the
you
Hulk.
believe, you guys. Don't you know anything about the magic of Santa Claus and iPhones? Nothing is impossible if you believe.
All I'm
Wait.
saying is the Hulk shouldn't be roughhousing with the child.
That's fair. Very
He's
fair.
the Hulk.
No.
Okay, here's another thing. This happens in the cartoons often. This seems to be based out of the Avengers cartoon, one of the most recent ones, where they did the same thing, where the Hulk is never Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And also can just like have a conversation.
Yeah, and he's just like
Which I guess he could do
Bruce
in Thor
Banner
Ragnarok.
mind-wise,
Thor
and just
Ragnarok
Hulk.
was so good, you guys.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok is the best. Can
I
we see that
don't
again?
hate that as a decision because I think that Bruce Banner is an inherently tragic character, and I'm just not sure how you could do that with kids.
That's
true.
true.
I don't know that you can have Banner making puns and roughhousing with the sidekick.
I'm
and
trying
then
to
turning into the
imagine
Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo doing that. Like, I'm trying to imagine Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner playing with Clint Hawkeye's children.
Did Iron Man build a Stargate?
Did he?
Yes.
Does Disney own Stargate now too?
Maybe.
Is Stargate owned by Fox?
That's a good
No, I
question.
don't think so.
Who owns Stargate?
I
Universal.
actually don't remember. Universal? Yeah, maybe. You can look it up.
You guys
They're working-
continue the
they're working on
conversation.
this now.
I'll Google this real quick.
I do always appreciate
Hey,
when
Siri,
the little
who
wings.
owns Stargate?
Oh my gosh, is that what just happened? You guys go. I'm gonna be real
Okay,
quiet. Hey,
that is
Siri.
100%
That's
Stargate.
definitely
That is
a
peak
Stargate.
happening
Yes.
right
Definitely
there.
a Stargate. I wish that Siri would just like read that off to you, so you could have just held it to the microphone. Hey Siri, tell us this answer.
I don't have Siri turned on. I think it's. What is this?
This is Elfheim. This is the
Elfheim.
realm of
Wait, why
of
is
light
Elfheim
elves.
full of candy canes?
It's Christmas land in this particular version.
That's insanity.
Yeah. Elfheim traditionally is the Norse realm of fairy. This is the home of the light elves, so it's generally, idyllic forests and looks a lot like, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, it should look like Lord of the Rings. It shouldn't look like the freaking like Sugar Plum Fairies playground.
As we said, it looks like Sugar Rush.
By my giant nose, is that Loki?
Did he say that?
No, but he has a giant
He
nose.
does have a giant nose, yes. It's an odd bit of
Oh
character
no,
design.
the reindeer is
Outright
dead.
just kill the reindeer.
Oh no, he's cool. He's cool. He cool.
Loki got ran over by a reindeer.
Walking down through Alfheim Christmas Eve. He is trying to go kidnap Santa.
Notice, that is 100% the MCU Avengers
Star Tower,
That's
yeah.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
Which they don't live there anymore.
I'm a Santa freak,
I'm a
said
Santa freak,
Reptil,
said
and no one
Reptil.
else
I'm a
ever.
Santa freak.
I don't understand. Like, okay, but it's really, again, really weird to me that like they picked this kid when you could have picked anybody. You could have had Spider-Man. You could have had. I mean, there's a slew of. I guess it's all like in the comics though. Like I'm thinking of like any member of the Champions you could have put in here instead, right? You could have had like young Cyclops or
Absolutely
See,
could.
they're very much so trying not to use Spider-Man, X-Men, or Fantastic Four
Oh,
at this point.
I see.
They may not even have the rights for animated Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four. I'm not at all sure because I think the animated rights were at this point
The
handled
animated
differently.
things are handled differently because I know that they can do some crossovers because they have, but I know that they try not to because Marvel just doesn't want to promote anything that they don't own.
Exactly right. And they're always, of course, trying to generate interest around new characters. And hey, a kid who can transform into a dinosaur at will. Yeah, there are marketing opportunities
kid
there
candy
attached to
right
that.
there.
Sure, yeah. It's also Sarah Candy, not in a weird way. I just really like dinosaurs. Apparently, MGM owns
He's a
Stargate.
Santa
MGM. Oh, of course,
You're a
because every
dino
episode
freak.
of SG1
dino
started
freak.
with the lion roar. I forgot that.
Rawr.
Yes, rawr.
Carol's hair really is very terrible in this cartoon.
Carol does traditionally oftentimes have terrible hair. She
No,
has
she does. Like,
very
okay, all the
big-
stuff that I've seen,
Yeah.
it's either like the big, long, like beauty queen hair, or it's like the like mohawk thing
Yeah.
that she's
Yeah,
got
I
going
feel
on,
like
which
they're
is
trying to do
fantastic.
both here.
Yeah,
and
no, it's
not, you
wild.
can't
It's really
combine the
bad.
two.
It is very like 80s. It is very that's some Dazzler hair right there.
It is Dazzler.
Dazzler,
hair.
you say?
I feel like we should do an episode, Sarah, where we can just tell you about mutants and you can try and pick which one of us is lying.
Oh man, that would be a
Oh, that
fun
would be a
game.
fun
That would be an amazing idea for our next live show. Actually, like the next like Excelsior live show. Like
mutant or
I
not?
have to determine. Yeah, mutant or lie.
Yeah.
Mutant or made up. I mean, the
I like
mutants
that.
are made up. It's a fictional story,
Hey,
but
now.
Mutant or mislead?
ooh, that's good.
Ooh.
Is there a mutant named Mislead though?
Mislead.
There isn't. There is now. Yeah.
Okay, so now they're in like what is this? French bread? French bread
I
land?
think they're cookies.
Okay.
I think this is still
wait
still
legit.
Alfheim. Yeah, no, I think those are cookies.
What the?
I think they're cookies.
Tastyland. Yep, those are chocolate chips. Also, I guess it's just an elf trait that they all have really long, pointy noses.
Okay, like. Oh wait, so they're supposed to be Santa's elves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Combining Santa with Norse
Okay,
mythology.
all right.
happening
This
here.
Everything
is
is forgiven now.
So, are these guys the ones building toys?
I forget.
Toys of death and destruction, perhaps.
I guess so.
Pointieth ears have hath
Ooh,
misstrewn.
boy.
Oh, this is
the
bad.
words coming
This
from
is
mine,
bad.
yon lips.
I just
Yep.
don't understand why the
Faux
elves are dressed
Shakespearean
up
and
And
real
like
bad.
look ear kebabs.
ear kebabs. Haha. Why didn't we bring Thor again? That's a good question. No, I don't understand like why
Good
we're in
question.
like
Little
Candyland.
self-awareness there from Tony at this point.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to Alfheim. We're dealing with Norse mythology. Why didn't we bring Thor?
No,
Well,
we don't
no,
need
it's
Thor.
the same
Grab
problem that we got
Reptile.
in. It's the same problem that we had in Captain America: Civil War, where Cap needed to go to Russia.
Now we're going to Russia.
We're going to Russia.
Do we know,
Who do we know
anyone?
who's Russian? Where's Nat? Oh, she's at her girlfriend's house stealing her suit and her hair dye? Okay. It's fine.
See,
Oh, we
her
were
hair
quiet
looked
for
good
too
there
long.
blowing in the wind.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good when she's flying, and I like very much the crackle power effect that we get from Carol.
So
here.
she's
I
like
actually
some sort of
don't
like
hate-
photon mancer.
She has
Wow.
energy absorption.
No
What?
time. We could sit here for 3 hours and no time.
Yep.
Oh.
She also supposedly has some kind of danger sense, but I never see her use that. It's like spider
Wait, like
sense.
spider sense?
Yeah.
Did she just crib that from Spider-Man?
So Carol
Well, no,
Danvers.
she senses danger. Spider-Man weirdly can only sense spiders.
So,
Oh,
like,
there's a
he
spider.
can't go 8
There's
feet
spider.
without being like, there's one
There's
here.
spider.
I sense it.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just so freaked out.
He
by this.
also has arachnophobia, unfortunately. Oh god. Oh no.
Y'all, there was a
There's one over
spider in
there.
my shower last night while I was showering, and that was a bad time. Like,
I used to have
it
a spider that lived above my shower. We had like these corrugated metal
Yeah,
walls
yeah,
around
yeah.
the shower, and he lived like behind it. And he'd just come out when I take a shower.
Like if it's
I was
like
fine
if
with
it's a
it.
nice little house spider, like those are fine. Like the
Yeah.
daring jumping spiders, which apparently only my family ever called hopping harrys, I discovered this year. 2017 was a garbage fire. Anyway, my entire life is falling apart. But like the brown little or the little black fuzzy spiders, love those guys. Like I will gladly welcome them into my home.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those like spindly, creepy spiders. He was very little, and I hated him, and I washed him down the drain while I was trying to wash my hair.
So this movie from 2015, pairing up Thor and Hulk because it was immediately recognized that this is a good idea, that we like
Yeah.
this character
This is
dynamic.
our favorite
Thank you
buddy
very
cop
much. Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. It's good. I want more of it. All the more of it. There's a Thor versus Hulk comic out there that looks pretty good, but I heard it's non-canonical, so I kind of avoided it. I'm gonna wait for the trade probably. But
Hang on, is
it's probably
Hulk
really
explaining to us?
Yep.
Okay.
He's Hulk explaining.
He's Hulk explaining Christmas. This
Presents,
is
which kids love,
wild.
of course. Santa, he can fly.
Oh my gosh. A toy pony, a real pony, or anything.
Not just ponies. Maybe I should.
No, maybe I should start over. I'll keep going.
This is.
I want Hulk to explain more things to me. Actually,
Yes, I want
We
that
need a
explanation.
special sequence on our podcast called
Hulk
Explain, where it's just the Hulk explaining everyday things, like a French press.
like that. Yes.
Yes.
what you do is take coffee, you put inside of glass, smush down until you have liquid drink. Hulk love liquid drink. Gives Hulk energy.
Oh, here's Rocket and Groot again.
Yep.
I forgot they were in this movie.
Robin
Hulk
and
has to
Groot,
watch
here we
caffeine
are,
intake.
Almost halfway through this movie, and they're about to enter the plot.
This
Strong
is
decision. Strong
bonkers.
decision.
This is wild. This isn't great.
Really? I thought this was surprisingly great. I genuinely laughed at that, like toy pony or real pony. Like I genuinely laughed the first time I watched this.
To be fair, we all have different tastes, and I have learned that Sarah's taste is not dumb fun.
That's
true.
It's
Yes.
something
It's
that's funny
very
'cause it's stupid,
occasionally
is not
dumb
necessarily
fun
her
works.
thing.
I feel like
but
if we
not all the
had,
time.
Ripley from Lumberjanes running around in this story, you would love it immediately.
I
if
guess
that's what
so.
we've done
Man,
instead of
what is the
Reptile.
situation?
I guess that's true. There is a way.
Yeah. If it was like Ripley instead of Reptile.
Yeah.
Ripley greater than Reptile.
Truth. Yes. Confirmed.
Groot,
Oh
you
no!
just
Wait!
killed
Oh
a
my God! Was that?
gingerbread man.
Holy shit!
Oh, he's still
alive!
blinking. He's
What
still
the fuck?
blinking.
What the fuck? Wait! Why?
This is a weird thing to be teaching children.
What is happening?
You know how
You made the
gingerbread men
gingerbread
attack you and kill you?
rise.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Wait, are they also in Elfheim?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they were in New York.
Yeah.
for
No,
some
they took
reason.
they took a dimensional portal to Alfheim.
Okay,
A
so
wormhole, I
Groot
guess.
can punch and kill a gingerbread man, but if Rocket's going to fire a gun, he has to fire it at the trees and knock them over onto the gingerbread man. He can't
The
just shoot a
rules
gingerbread
of
man.
animated movies made for kids. Yes.
You can punch and kill, don't shoot and kill. You can shoot and kill
What
the
the
trees,
What the
which are
sprinkles?
related to Groot.
That's oh my lord! Just eat them.
Ooh. I
Wouldn't that be worth?
Don't like gingerbread.
It's not good.
Well,
Great
but
for
now it
making
looks like they've been
ornaments.
shot. Now it looks like they've all been shot.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Oh, I didn't do that on purpose.
There is an Iron Fist and Power Man Christmas story that also has Santa Claus in it. I haven't read it, but I want that very much.
Oh my golly. Do you guys remember the lost Earth 405 Christmas special?
It was amazing.
Was it lost?
Yes.
Is it lost or still forthcoming?
No,
We didn't say
it's
which
never
Christmas.
forthcoming. That will never meet the light of day. Homegirl got remarkably drunk on the podcast.
So did lots of folks.
So did
that day.
all of us was the problem.
no
I don't
one
think
quite as
anyone
much as
was
you, in
talking into
fairness.
the microphone anymore. I was just so excited.
I was.
Yes.
Oh.
That was
Excuse me.
6-hour recording session, something like
Surely
that.
it wasn't 6 hours.
It was a
might have
long,
been.
long
If I
time.
wasn't talking to the microphone, it was because I was recording half the people.
That's true. God, no,
so
it was
were
such
you.
a mess. Jeez. Well, we were just so excited because that was the first time that Alistair got to come and
I got to
visit
come
us
play
and
with
be
us.
with us
Yeah, it
in
was
person,
great.
and it was a big freaking deal. I
It
can't believe that
was.
was just last Christmas.
I know.
That's so
I know.
wild.
And there was a lot of cinnamon whiskey going around,
There
too.
sure was.
Dangerous, dangerous cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, it does me so
Euro
dirty.
Kraken.
What's a
Where
Euro
is the
Kraken?
Euro
Oh, is
I
it
don't
a
know, but
snow
it should be
squid?
unleashed.
Unleash
Are
the
we
Euro
unleashing the Euro
Kraken.
There it is.
It's a snow squid.
Yo.
it's
Wait, that's not a snow
So-
squid?
Snake. A Hydra?
Oh, that's just the bad guy at the end of Hellboy.
A Cthulhu.
Oh, it's Cthulhu. Yeah, it's a
A
Cthulhu.
Nyarlathotep.
It was like Vincent, you gotta stop saying that because seriously, you're gonna wake something up.
Cthulhu Fatagan.
I will call out to Angela Lurie, the wonderful Angela Lurie, listener to the Excelsior podcast. Hi,
Hey,
Angela.
Angela.
I know you're listening to this. You may not be
Hello.
watching the movie along with us, but I know that you're listening. Angela reminded me on Twitter just how great Hellboy 2 was, and we definitely have to talk about Hellboy 2 at some
Excellent.
point.
Yes,
I had
yes.
forgotten everything that was in
I
that
like
movie,
Hellboy 2
and it's
more.
so good.
I don't remember anything about it, but I remember liking it.
Something about elves again.
Elves, fairies.
Weirdly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
There's some steampunk stuff going on, a golden army of sorts.
Yep.
These are
Don't
the
they
things I
look like the
remember.
big robots in The Fifth Element?
Oh, yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Fifth Element holds up, gang. It's a good movie.
I like
Yeah, I
that
just
movie
watched
a
that
lot.
last year again
Yeah,
and really, really liked it.
They put it in theaters again for like a limited weekend, and my dad, my
Yeah.
brother, and I went to go see it. It
Oh,
was awesome. It was
I
so,
can't
so
imagine
good.
seeing that in the big screen now. That must have looked amazing.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
real good. Had a great time. That was where my crush on Mila Jovovich began.
You and the world.
Yup. Well, I never saw Return to the Blue Lagoon, so
Sure. Sadly. The upcoming commentary track. there
it's
for
on
us.
Hulu. It pops up a lot, and I'm like, Hulu, you don't know me.
Turns out Hulu knows you better than you
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are
okay.
big Christmas fans, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like the
like
mythology of Christmas, the Santa Claus stuff of Christmas.
My favorite Christmas story is how Saint Nicholas punched Aramaeus in the face for being a heretic.
Okay.
Yep.
Strong.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's
strong.
my favorite
Yes,
Christmas
yes.
story.
That's
Got
also
up,
mine.
like, okay, that was the Council of Nicaea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. Saint Nicholas at the end of the
It's been like
table.
10 years since Bible school.
Yeah. Anyway, Aramaeus is saying a bunch of junk that's completely wrong and like totally bonkers and like just the worst possible like theology that you could come up with. And St. Nicholas got up from his chair at the other end of the table, ran across, and decked this dude in the face for being a heretic.
Good.
It's my favorite
what you
Christmas story.
get.
Yeah.
That's Santa Claus, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that St. Nicholas is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I never cared much for the Christmas mythology. My parents were honest with me right at the beginning.
Oh,
They were just
okay.
like, hey, there's no Santa. Don't tell the other kids. They'll cry. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, if we have children, that's definitely gonna be the plot. Like, there's gonna be no reason to tell my kids that like a big fat strange man brings you presents. No, Daddy and I got you these presents, and we worked very hard for them.
Show some gratitude.
Show some gratitude, damn it.
I don't want to like dissuade anyone from doing anything. If that's your thing, you enjoy it. do
No,
that
absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
Just for me, I personally just feel like it worked for me being raised. I
Yep.
loved it. I was
Yep.
so happy that my parents told me, and I can't get past this feeling if like I lie to my kids about Santa Claus or make that up. Won't they just think I lied to them about everything? And it's like, what the hasn't he lied to me about?
Yeah, yeah.
Heroin
But
must
again-
be great when he told me heroin was bad.
Yeah. They said Santa existed. Drugs are great. That's okay. And we're not saying that if you
No,
tell your kids
no,
about Santa
exactly.
that they will do
This
heroin.
is my
Let us
own
be very, very
personal
clear.
thing.
Different strokes for different folks vis-a-vis Santa.
I think that you can tell your kids about Santa as a myth, as a
No,
story,
absolutely.
as a tradition.
We're not.
and
there's
kind
not
of
going to be like a
play
Santa
along with
man
it.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
household.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Did you just say Santa Claus? You're grounded. All your gifts are going
grounded.
back.
There is no Santa
There
Claus,
is no
Bobby.
Santa. No, Santa lives in all of us, kind of.
Kind of.
We are Santa.
We are Santa.
All of us.
Let me tell you about
collectively.
St. Nicholas, who punched Arameus in the face.
There you go.
I sure hope it's Arameus. Guys, if I'm wrong, just
I'm pretty sure
discreetly
that's right.
send me a
I don't know.
DM. Don't blast me on social media.
I used to know a lot about those things.
You did?
I just don't remember much of it.
Did they
anymore.
just get some sort of magical whistle?
Yes, there was a magical whistle.
Oh, okay,
I
great.
thought we were still
that
talking
got
about
rid of the
theology
Kraken.
history.
Plus, now Loki and Ymir have escaped with the casket.
Why?
So we were about to throw down.
Okay. Nobody's wearing like a winter parka. Like again, Steve Rogers is just the complete opposite of ice, and so he's totally cool. Iron Man's in a suit. That's probably fine. Carol, I don't know what her situation is, but she's probably cool in the snow. The elves clearly fine. But like Reptile is just a boy who turns into a lizard,
Yeah, he's
which
got a
is
shirt.
cold-blooded.
Yeah.
He's got a short sleeve shirt. They're in an ice cavern.
It's all right.
If I tried to pull that shit in Breath of the Wild, I would start dying.
Cap just rubs his shoulders and gives him one of those, chemical hand warmer things that you get. Those little packets that you
No, they're
kind of
great. You stick 'em in your shoes.
There you
Yeah.
go. Or in your shoes. Sure.
Think it over.
You can warm whatever you like with
Longbow
them.
Short fuse.
Longbow Short Fuse. That's my D&D character name.
Good strong name.
That's a very good D&D character name.
I am Longbow Short Fuse.
Everything you need to know about that character.
Yeah.
That's some Hello from the Magic Tavern stuff right there, let me tell you. I think this is, a very simple story, of course, that is
Do you think so?
fascinatingly
Because I have
complicated.
no idea what's happening, honestly.
At like a high level, it is, the Avengers save Christmas which,
Okay.
and save Santa Claus specifically, which I really like. But I love how complicated it is and how dense
Nicholas
it is with
Store
616 stuff.
Is that Santa Claus?
Well, what
It's
do you
Nicholas
think, Sarah?
Store Manager.
No,
Sarah.
that's
He
Santa
just
Claus.
said.
No, is that the real Santa Claus? Is that the whole thing? We're gonna get
No,
to the North
Santa
Pole?
Claus is just next to him. That
Look,
cardboard
No,
cutout.
that's a
Right
toy
there.
Santa.
He's not as tall as the toy Santa. There's no resemblance there.
What do you think? Santa
Toy
Claus is like
Santa,
10
real
feet tall?
Santa.
The
How would he
cardboard
fit through
doesn't lie.
chimneys?
The cardboard does not lie.
Wait,
Yeah, hold on a second.
No, okay, ask
that's
your
absurd
question.
if he's 10 feet tall. If he's 6 feet tall, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, all chimneys are capacious enough to accommodate a 6 foot tall, rotund fellow with a belly not unlike a bowl full of jelly.
Well, you see, jelly is very malleable is the situation.
That's true. That's true.
Is that
here's my
Santa's
problem.
secret? He just doesn't have like a
He
skeletal
doesn't have
structure.
bones.
Just,
His bones are
amorphous.
made out of, I don't know, candy canes.
Naturally.
Surrounded by
Hulk
jelly.
knows he's Santa Claus. Hulk
See, I
knows.
told you. Oh, God.
The resemblance is uncanny. Here's my problem, though. I don't think Santa would wear his cell phone on his belt with a little clip. Just don't think that would happen.
Do you
but
think
that's
that he gets
how
good
that-
reception up the North
they
Pole?
did that
Dad
here.
Santa?
Can
I
we
love
talk
it.
about
Santa.
how much better the characterization of Thor in Thor Ragnarok is than literally every other version of Thor? Like this whole like Ren Fair having to speak like very loquaciously, like you're a god, blah blah blah, is like fine but hella boring.
Nice pun.
Hella.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I don't hate that, but I totally see where you're coming from.
Yes.
I don't hate the original incarnation of Thor. I like much better the Ragnarok version of Thor.
It's so much better.
But the problem is, I think that the Ragnarok version of Thor requires Taika Waititi in order to
That's
make
true.
that dialogue work.
That's true.
Fair.
I'm fascinated to see what Thor we get in Infinity War. Because I can't imagine the Russos
It's got to
as
be
great
regular
as they
Thor
are.
again, right?
It kind of. I think we're going to get a hybrid between the two.
I certainly hope so. I mean,
the
hopefully
line
they
from
just
the
like
trailer,
called
"Who are
up
you
Taika
guys?"
Waititi and they were like, "Hey, can you just like write Thor's lines for us real
Just
quick?"
give us a pass on the script, please.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of Whedon on it, and we just kind of want
Yeah,
that
we just
gone
it
now,
feels
please.
gross.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all sticky. Did they just kidnap Mrs. Claus?
Somebody holding him at gunpoint. Great kids movie, guys.
Oh my God, Rocket and Groot just accidentally kidnapped Mrs. Claus.
Santa's wife. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a furry face, I don't think it makes a smack sound when you smack yourself in the face. I don't think that's how that works.
But you could probably just do an ASMR channel that's just that, right?
You just scratch your own fur.
Just scritching your own fur. Yeah.
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 Sounds like this.
God, I hope that picks up.
I don't know that it will. but I can insert any sound effect that I like into that part.
Will you put in the breaking wine glass sound effect?
Yeah, last night as I was giving a live discussion of Professor Tolkien's corpus, shattered a wine glass right into the microphone. It was
Hell
pretty
yeah,
great.
you did.
Yeah. And then went on like a champ, by the way, like not
I
at all
cannot
distracted
believe.
by the
Like,
giant
is there
pool of
wine
wine
in
on the
your
table.
keyboard?
There
Like
was.
dried wine?
There was. I had to clean my keyboard last night.
Did you have to like pull off all the individual
Yeah,
keys?
I did because I've got one of those bad mechanical keyboards. Yeah. Did it. But I'm a
here's
pro.
Loki again.
I
and
like
his
how they
snow buddy.
they tried to kidnap Mrs. Claus, and she's just like, "Oh, Santa loves friends. Why don't you come back with me?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's it. We were playing the prank. Okay, cool."
Yeah, we totally know.
She's so trusting.
Nicholas.
Mrs. Claus, you're a little naive. I'm a little worried about your safety.
What do you guys feel about? What is your favorite like Christmas story or mythology or like bit of Christmas lore? And you can include, I guess, these whacked out Avengers Christmas stories if you like.
Oh, I like, this is going to be really off the radar. Probably. Gwenpool has a Christmas comic.
Okay,
from last
first
year.
of all, before I'm
Yes,
so sorry to
yes,
interrupt, but is Gwenpool good?
I haven't read anything but this. But
Okay.
I've heard yes. I've heard the answer to that is yes.
Heard very good things too.
Okay.
I've heard the answer to this, or what Gwenpool is that she came from our world, the real world, was a comic book fan,
What?
got put in that world. That's why she can break the fourth wall, because she knows, because she's from this world.
Yeah.
What?
In the Christmas comic, there is a story about Galactus being a Santa Claus. It is the best thing.
Hang on, wait.
A lot of similarities.
Galactus Claus.
Just
That
Now,
is my favorite Christmas story.
Galactus is the world eater,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's different from Thanos.
Yes.
Yes.
Who is purple Joss Whedon.
gigantic. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
There it is.
Nailed it.
He's now the life bringer in gold, and he looks beautiful.
Thanos does or Galactus does?
Galactus.
What's
He's
a
no
life
longer the-
bringer?
he brings life. He restores the life of the worlds that he's eaten to make up for his sins.
So he's
because
just, like,
the
barfing
Ultimates
up a
is
lot
a great
of
comic.
planets?
No,
It's-
not necessarily.
Yeah, Galactus is very, very complicated.
It's very
Galactus may
complicated.
also not be a giant guy with a purple hat. He may be like the representation of what is a universal force. That's just how human beings see him, because we can't process his like essential nature. It's
Is
very,
he a
very
celestial?
complicated.
All that's for sure
No, he's more powerful than a celestial.
is that he
Wait,
doesn't
what?
look like he did in the Fantastic Four movie. Just ignore that.
I never saw those, so I'm
The-
good.
what was it? The
He was just a
ultimate
cloud.
Ultimate extinction.
Are you talking about the most recent
Oh,
Fantastic Four
Ultimate
movie with the worst
Yeah.
version of Doctor Doom I've ever seen in my entire
That
life?
is
Oh,
so
no,
bad.
not the
personally
most
offended.
recent one.
Okay,
the
okay.
Fantastic Four 2 that had the best Silver Surfer.
Who played the
Fantastic
Silver
Four,
Surfer
Rise
in
of
that
the
movie?
That was
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones.
Yeah,
Yep.
who we
Oh
were just
yeah,
talking
we
about.
talked
Doug
about
Jones.
this. Yeah, Doug Jones.
He should get that role again, I think.
He's very popular right now because of his excellent work in Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing a lot of material about him. He's going to get
Was
some really
he
good roles.
the sexy fish man in Water
Hellboy?
Monster Sex Tape? No, the one that
Waters?
The
what is-
other
the
Guillermo del
Guillermo del
Toro,
Toro one, Shape of Water.
Yes,
Oh, I haven't seen it.
but I don't know who
Yeah.
starred in that.
Okay. I'm sorry that I just said
I
Water
haven't seen
Monster
it.
Sex Tape.
No, we're not.
I drank this wine
Well,
really
you
quick
said
after
it
some
as
coffee.
the, what is it, Euro Kraken just emerged from the ice.
Yeah, the
here,
Euro
so I
Kraken is
didn't
the
really
Water Monster
appreciate
Sex
that.
Tape.
Yeah. Santa's gone. says
Santa's
Kat.
gone. I can't believe
Hey,
it.
look, we're more than halfway through this movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
I thought
I
we were
really
dirty
thought-
squid.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
Another butt shot. That's weird. Whose butt is that? Oh, it's an elf butt.
Everybody's butt. All the elf
Why
butts.
do the elves have kryptonite arrows? They know Superman's not in this, right?
On the
they're
list
just
of
ready.
most powerful heroes in Marvel,
Yeah.
where is Carol Danvers / Captain Marvel?
top of it.
Wait, what the fuck is? Why is Thor strapped to the front of Santa's sled? Where do they get Santa's sled? Are these regular reindeer? Why is Hulk also in the sled? What happened?
Well, Hulk's in the sled, so Thor has to help pull the sled.
those
There you
are
go.
those are fake
Those are
reindeer.
just
Those
stuffed
are fake
reindeer.
reindeer.
I'm sorry. The part of the story that you've missed, Sarah, is that Thor and Hulk are filling in for Santa Claus using their powers because Santa Claus has gone missing. And if they don't do it, there will be no presents. There will be no hope in the world.
And
Because
this isn't
parents
Santa
don't
Claus.
actually buy
This
presents for
is-
their children. All presents are from Santa.
There you go.
This is just a
A
store
guy
manager
named
that looks like
Nicholas.
Santa Claus
Yeah.
that they're taking with them because he's super terrified of this flight they're doing.
Because he looked the part, and those are fake reindeer. This is all just a stage show so that they can convince the world that Santa Claus is still around and that everything's okay.
Hulk and Thor, you're such nice guys.
Right?
Helping all the children.
I don't really know what Hulk is contributing to this, but it's fine. He's just a lot of extra weight in the
Belief.
sleigh. Yeah.
He's pushing it.
You're right. That's
He
his
is the one.
superpower.
He
I love
has-
it.
He has the childlike belief.
That's my
needed.
secret cap. I'm always Christmassy.
I'm always Christmassy.
Okay, so before I had
always
that
believe.
weird blackout stroke just then, what I was going to ask is where does Carol land on like the list of like most powerful characters within like the Marvel universe?
She's up there.
Yeah,
Yeah?
she is. At one point was supposed to be the most powerful. Had like godlike
Who
powers.
is the most powerful Marvel character?
and, that's a tough
Well,
question.
by
to
what
ask.
metric?
Yeah.
What do you mean by what metric? I mean
Well,
by
do
the
you mean
metric
most
of
physically
power.
powerful, most telepathically powerful, most
Oh, I
magically
see. Okay,
powerful?
I guess I'm
Make sure.
meaning most. Okay, so hang on. Let's all right.
Physically powerful, I believe it is still canonically Hulk.
Okay,
Like-
I was
like
gonna say
no
that
one
was
is
what I
stronger
was
than
gonna say.
Hulk.
Okay, so physically
Although
powerful.
possibly
Hulk.
is. If you get into it, I don't know. Hulk versus Juggernaut. I mean, Juggernaut is mystically empowered because of the Gem of Sidorak, so I don't
is
know. But
stronger.
even the Hulk probably wouldn't be able to stop the Juggernaut. I don't know.
I think he could.
Telepathically is well, it was Charles Xavier, but it's somebody else
Believe
now, right?
It's still Charles Xavier, as far as I know, but there may well be someone. They like to bring in new people
Yeah,
who are
these
more
things are
powerful.
fluid.
From time
They
to time.
Okay,
constantly
so
change.
Charles Xavier, mystically powerful.
Doctor Strange,
Okay,
Sorcerer Supreme, baby.
all right,
There
excellent.
it is. The
Yes,
clues in his title.
sure.
Currently
All right,
Best
Supreme,
wizard.
And that book is also very good.
I do need to read that book. Okay, what about I mean, God, what do you get? Okay, so
Are we
now we
sure
did
that
physical,
Wanda's not the
mental,
most
and
magically
mystical.
powerful? I mean, just being able to
see,
say no more
the thing
mutants
is-
and changing the reality.
That's
like that.
true. Like, okay, no. Here's the thing: is that like my secret hope is that eventually Wanda will become the Sorcerer Supreme.
See, the thing
like,
is that there's a distinction
Well, hold on. I
between
like the slow
sorcery.
motion screaming Rocket Raccoon. Sorry. I got
why
that.
is that mountain shaped
That
like
was
Santa's
some-
Sorry,
face?
I got
Cheap
distracted by the
ammunition
movie
right
we're
there.
supposed to be commenting. That's what I just apologized for.
What are
I
we
want to
doing
do,
here today?
What I want to do when this is over, and I'm probably spoiling it right now by admitting this up front, what I want to do when this movie is over is for Sarah to give us a 30-second recap of the events of this film. I don't know. There were some things.
And then I can Hulk explain it.
How
You can
dare
explain
you?
it. Perfect.
You're
Perfect.
both so rude and sassy. Anyway,
Yeah, I think there's a difference between like Doctor Strange style sorcery, like the casting of spells, and Wanda's reality manipulation power. That feels
well,
like it's a
okay, like
different
okay,
thing.
and we're gonna be reading her comic in January.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Or some spoilers, I guess. I don't know. January is my month. We're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna
All
be great.
kinds of stuff.
Sailor Moon, Scarlet Witch, other stuff.
Other stuff,
other
TBD.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. A Buffy comic, maybe.
Probably
Probably
Age
not.
of Ultron.
Probably. Well, no, not if we're going to be doing the thing that
Oh,
we were talking about that I don't want to talk about yet
yeah.
because that's a secret. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're going to wait until January to talk about that.
We definitely
Louis
don't have any
Fraba.
Age of Ultron related plans.
No,
So
certainly
just-
not.
No plans.
None
I don't
whatsoever.
plan.
Yep.
Yeah, which is why when I sit down to a podcast without notes, I'm kind of like feeling like all this pressure and anxiety. That's
No,
because I don't
there's no
plan.
You
pressure.
shouldn't. You want to know why you should feel zero anxiety at all? Because you're wearing this wonderful sloth Christmas
I am
sweater
wearing
where
a
he's got a
sloth
Santa
Christmas
hat.
sweater.
And you know, as people are listening to this, it is Christmas Day, and they are feeling
Oh,
festive and
yeah.
probably overloaded on turkey. And it's
Did
the
you guys finish
tryptophans.
telling me your favorite bits of Christmas lore?
I don't know, but I
don't
do
know
want
that
to
we
mention
did.
this. People listening might also not celebrate Christmas, so this is just a normal day
That's
for
true,
you.
too. Yeah, that's
true.
Happy Excelsior episode drop day.
See, that's what I
Happy
like about Christmas is like
Excelsior holiday.
because I am myself like naturally optimistic and I don't know joyous. I suppose
Mm-hmm.
I like reasons to celebrate. I like stupid reasons to
do too.
celebrate. I like any
Yeah.
reason to like put up a tree and decorate your house. It doesn't have to be about Christmas. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
about anything. It's just about celebration. It's just about sometimes it's about celebrating.
Oh God, please tell us what happened. I don't want them thinking I was laughing at the idea of Christmas.
No, we're
No,
laughing
no.
at screaming Santa.
This is what I'm talking about. There are weird moments of genuine greatness in this ridiculous film. And
Santa
yes,
just started
Santa
shrieking like a
screaming
child.
and
Anyway, go back to what you were
breathing
saying,
into
please,
a bag.
Alistair.
Yeah, no, I just love the excuse to celebrate. That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing about Christmas is just it exists only by consensus. It
Mm-hmm.
has power and import only because we all decide that it has power and import. And
Right.
the fact that you can just take a day and be nicer than you normally are and kinder than you normally are and
Mm-hmm.
more grateful than you normally are, that's awesome. Let's just all do that. Let's just
Yeah.
all decide to like commit to this bit. I like that idea.
That's why it's always Christmas
Yeah.
at my house.
Hell yeah.
I love that. There you go.
My favorite is
But
when
not
you
in
open
that
up.
weird, internet way, because there are people who do it where it is literally Christmas in their house every day, and that's
No.
That's odd.
yeah. Don't take it too far, you guys.
My favorite is when you get to open one present on Christmas Eve and then you open the rest on Christmas Day.
That's very good.
Which, hey, guess what, gang? Once you get married and you suddenly have a lot of families that you have to go and visit, none of that fucking matters anymore. I'm doing Christmas with my family tomorrow. Today is Friday as we're recording.
Yep.
Tomorrow is Saturday with like no relevance to it
the
whatsoever.
23rd. We should say tomorrow's the 23rd. Yeah.
Yep, the
Yeah.
23rd of Christmas. No, December.
The 23rd of Christmas. It goes October, November,
Okay.
Christmas.
There is no Santa, says Tony Stark right there, Sarah.
What the hell is
There's
this?
no Santa.
That's Reptile. He's all bundled up.
He's,
Why is he bundled up now?
You know how you were
It's very
complaining?
cold. He didn't realize he would need a jacket until he was there. And
Yeah,
he was like,
most of
terrible.
Alfheim
I'm
is
sorry,
not
can we
wintry.
just talk about how Captain America, Steve Rogers, just walked into a ski lodge and called out for Santa as though that were a real thing that happens?
But you also might have missed that on the sleigh just earlier.
What the fuck?
That was great. That was fantastic when Reptile took off his like mini layers. Hulk was throwing presents down on the children below,
No, I
and they
did
were
see
crashing into the ground like meteors on fire,
Wait.
causing explosions.
Oh, no.
And so he's just like
They've
throwing
ruined
meteors
Christmas
into the
worse
ground,
than
destroying
Jack
people's houses.
Skellington.
Steve Rogers definitely believes in Santa Claus, though, right?
Steve Rogers is a grown-ass man and knows that Santa lives in all of us and is not a real person, except
what I
for
mean.
St. Nicholas who punched
That's what
Arameus
I mean.
in the face.
He believes in the spirit of Santa Claus.
He's all about the historical theologian of Saint Nick.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
because
absolutely.
that's exactly what Cap would be about.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh, Die Hard.
Fuck off.
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. I will
No,
find
it
anyone that
is
says
not. No. Okay, Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas in the same way that Thor Ragnarok is an Independence Day movie because there are fireworks.
But it doesn't take place.
I'm not sure that I would necessarily.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
You
sure.
that would need
agreed
to.
with me 3
Yeah,
days
I know.
ago when I made that
But I'm
joke.
not sure.
You turncoat motherfucker.
There's a difference between it being a joke and being a fact. One can be agreed with a laugh. The other one can't be agreed with.
bitch.
Die Hard is a movie which takes place at Christmas, but is not about
And
Christmas.
has a lot of Christmas in it. A lot. Christmas
because it takes
songs.
place
It
at
has
Christmas.
iconography of Christmas. Yes,
The soundtrack
But-
has Christmas songs
No,
on it.
that's absolutely
Okay,
true. What
okay.
differentiates Die Hard from Christmas movies for me is that Die Hard doesn't speak to like what Christmas is about.
Unless
I
it's about
want
like
a little-
murdering
a
Russian
little
terrorists.
warmth and
Murdering
good feeling.
Russian
Yeah, no, that's
terrorists?
true.
That's
That's true.
Merry Christmas, kill a Hans Gruber. That's it. Every Christmas we gather around
You know what?
the Gruber,
That has
the
never
Gruber
been more
tree,
relevant
and
than
then
it is in
set fire
2017,
to it.
Sarah. Yeah.
Actually, shit, you're
Yeah.
totally right.
We can evolve Christmas to be more like
I
Die
know
Hard.
that Elizabeth spent a long time putting up the Christmas tree in this
Yes.
house and decorating it very much. But
No, we
can we
can't burn it.
instead, on our Christmas party with all of our friends,
Hang in effigy
hang
Hans
an
Gruber.
effigy of Donald Trump?
No. That feels like we're no. Christmas needs to be about joy and celebration. Sarah, I'm going to draw a hard line here. I am Team Santa on this one. Yes,
Can we
Santa
get
lives in our hearts.
instead a cardboard cutout of Chris Evans as Captain
That is
America
what I'm talking about.
and put a Christmas hat on him.
Yes, we can definitely
And
do
then
that
at the
thing.
end of the party, go and burn some effigies in the backyard.
Yeah,
No,
guys-
see, again, I feel like you're you're zagging, which is fine. You're in 2017.
Zag on him.
Zag on 'em. That makes a lot of sense to me. But no, I think we're focusing on the good guys.
You know what?
The
Yes,
rest
we're
of the
supposed to
year, we could be
focusing on
concerned about the
good
dumpster
and
fire,
and
but
the
yeah.
kindness and the grace. And I'm so sorry that I screamed a lot of obscenities at you a few minutes ago that you can't edit out of this podcast because it's
Completely
a live
okay.
commentary.
It's all right. Now people just know what it's like to hang out with us here.
We all
Sometimes
know
obscenities are
that
shouted.
John McClane lives in our hearts.
Wait.
A little bit of John McClane.
Sarah, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Is
don't
it this
have
one?
one.
Is it Marvel superheroes?
No, I
Frostbite?
don't have a favorite Christmas movie because, like, they're not that big a deal. Like, whatever.
I love
Really?
Christmas movies.
Yeah, no, they're fine. Like,
So you don't
I-
have like a tradition of. You just watched White Christmas with Elizabeth, in fact, just a couple
we?
days ago. Was it not White Christmas?
No, I guess it was. I was
Yeah.
on my phone a lot.
Did we? This is a theme with Sarah Kate.
Oh, we're getting important character development here for
Ooh, yeah,
Reptile,
he
by the
loves
way.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and
this
Santa.
is about his history
This
with
is weird
Santa.
because Reptile up to this point has looked like some sort of like ethnic child, and in his backstory, he
It's a
looks like a little white
bold
boy.
choice to adjust his ethnicity during his childhood. Yes.
Really weird.
Yeah, look,
Look,
that,
what
the
the
direct transition from him being like 10 shades
Well,
wider.
he hadn't manifested his mutant powers. Maybe this is a secondary mutation.
Ooh,
no.
ooh, be
Oh,
careful.
no.
Be careful.
No, I mean in
That's-
Reptile's specific case. That's all I'm saying.
That's something
I'm
that
just
the
trying
X-Men
to
has messed up
excuse
before.
the animation that's happening
No,
here.
no, I don't think you should. Oh, hey, here's Carol stuff.
Carol's
Is this
like, I
important
love
for me
planes.
to know?
Planes are
Carol's
great,
like,
guys.
planes. Yeah,
Kid Carol with the
planes.
thumbs up is so good, though.
I'd be a pilot.
Guys, they're really learning about Christmas right now.
They
I'm
really
trying to
are.
remember. I could be wrong about this. Alistair, remind me if I'm off. Wasn't it that Carol wanted to go to space and they told her a woman can never do that, so she became a pilot instead?
Yes.
So it's not
Yeah.
that
Oh
she
my
dreamed
God.
of being a pilot. She dreamed of
Child
going to
Steve
space.
Rogers
Yep.
wrote to Santa asking to play baseball.
I want to play baseball.
His family
boy.
was too poor.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
He's
Mickey?
just the best.
I'm Captain America.
You just said Captain Marca.
Captain America. Oh, boy.
So weird.
This
Oh my
is
god,
Captain
oh my god, oh my
America.
god. Wait, it's happening, it's happening. Tony's learning the true meaning of Christmas.
Okay. Uh-huh. Oh,
So
no,
child Tony Stark, who looks like a 40-year-old man in a leather.
He does. He just looks like a short 40-year-old man.
I have a green leather. Oh, I like how he wears Iron Man colors even as a child.
They all did. Not Iron Man, but undeliverable. Okay, no,
Undeliverable.
that's fucking bullshit. Like, the post office keeps those. They
Yeah, of
I
course
mean, I
they
guess they throw them away, but they don't send them back.
There's a place in Canada that mails back letters. It has an actual North Pole address. If you mail them a letter to Santa, they will write back to you for kids.
That would be
they
my
send out like
favorite
10,000
job.
letters every year.
That
How good
is
is
my
that,
ultimate
right?
job now.
Yeah.
Where did you say this was? In Canada?
Canada. It's like a
I need to go to
volunteer
Canada
thing.
anyway because the
Yeah.
Nazis are going to come after me next year because of how gay I am. So I'm going to be moving to Canada regardless to protect myself, and I will move in, and that will become my new job, is writing letters to children from Santa.
Fair enough.
It's a pretty good job. I hear it's a major industry in Canada. It employs something like 28%
You
of all
might
Canadians.
say it's what they're all about.
I would say that.
I would be worried that I just like
co-sign that
offended
joke in every
Canadians, but they're
possible
so
way. No,
nice.
that's
There's no way
you
I
never
did that.
know. Yeah.
I took
Hey,
off
you guys,
my
it's been a little while
headphones.
since we had a fight scene, so now we're having a
Oh.
fight
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Now
Of
that
course,
Loki
you have
and his
Illusion and
army
Loki.
of elves are just
Hey, who
outright
wore
attacking.
these headphones before me? Because they're like 8 sizes too big for my head.
Possibly me.
Oh, boy.
My big old head.
Oh,
With my
boy.
big old bean. Right?
Your giant bean.
A giant bean.
Don't worry. There's no way that Carol's energy can go through a thin layer of ice that man just put up.
Nope, no way.
Just bounce right off of that.
Thin layer of magic ice.
Magic. What's
Yeah.
it though?
Is it magic
I
ice?
have no idea.
We're taking a lot of liberties with this.
Are you upset that this doesn't sufficiently respect the canon?
Yes. I also just got really depressed thinking about how Peggy and Steve never really got to spend a Christmas together.
Well, we're all sad now.
That's not good. Yeah, thanks for sharing it with us, though, Sarah. You
You're
definitely couldn't have
welcome.
kept that little
No, I
fragment of
could not
sadness
have.
locked
Happy
up
No,
in your
I
Christmas
heart.
and
keep things to
whatever.
myself.
I'm gonna go hit the nog.
Yeah.
I have
No,
a
you'll
very-
never leave me.
I have a very, very, very important question. So I'm turning 30 next month.
Yes.
I don't know what eggnog is.
Okay. Are you
That
asking
was
for
the
eggnog?
precursor to the question.
My question is,
Do you want to write to Santa about it?
dear Santa,
Because when you're 30, you can't.
I can't. No, I've already passed the thing. Like, I don't believe in him anymore, so it doesn't do anything
Dear
for me,
Santa,
right?
nog me. Yeah.
Dear
no, I
Santa,
think we should have some.
what is nog? Dear Siri, what nog is?
It's, well, oh no, your Siri's turned off. That's fine. If
Yeah.
you okay Google, my phone will buzz in my
Okay,
pocket.
Google.
No, don't.
Wait, hang on. Does your phone respond to my voice? Because my husband has it set up that his phone will not respond to my voice, and I'm very offended by that. Hey, okay, Google. What
No,
eggnog
I
is?
got it turned off now. There
Damn
we go.
it. What eggnog is?
But also just a lot of shouting as we do the podcast.
It's not good, is
Here's
what
the
it
thing.
is.
You like dairy, creamy booze drinks,
I'm
right?
lactose reliant.
Dependency, yeah.
Dependent.
Reliant.
I am the literal opposite of a lactose intolerant person. If I don't get enough lactose, I die.
Well,
Is that just like a calcium thing, or
I don't know
Does it have to be
entirely.
in the form of milk-based booze drinks?
Well,
cheese
no,
or
I mean, like, okay,
cream-based
like, you
booze
know,
drinks.
an afternoon snack for me might be like a bowl of cream cheese and a string cheese and a glass of milk.
Oof. Oh my god!
also
Another
nachos
one.
and macaroni.
I'm really hungry. Also, macaroni and cheese.
Wow.
What else? Ice cream, perhaps. Yogurt.
That's
Okay.
dessert.
I'm calling up here Alton Brown's eggnog recipe because this is the go-to eggnog
He
recipe.
taught me how to make eggs. Nope. Anthony Bourdain did.
Taught you how
Anthony
to make
Bourdain.
things because you can prepare eggs, but I don't know if you can make them.
No. Anthony Bourdain.
Well,
hey,
I don't know.
Santa Claus.
Oh,
it's
everyone
really
Claus.
him.
There you go.
Deck the halls. It's time to deck
It's
the
pretty good.
halls.
It's pretty good.
No,
Okay.
okay, he's got no time
Just
for
slapped
Loki
away
shit.
Loki's energy.
No,
like it
please,
was
God,
nothing.
tell me what eggnog is.
Sarah,
Yes.
you need eggs, 4
Okay.
eggs, a
Okay.
third of a cup of sugar,
Makes sense
plus
in
a
the name.
tablespoon later.
And I
but
put in the
that's-
yolks in there, or is it just the
You need
whites?
4 nogs as well.
Oh, God. What's a nog?
Well, I don't want to tell you.
It's whole milk, heavy cream, bourbon, and egg.
Holy shit, that sounds amazing!
Nope. I'm
It
against
sounds
it.
like a terrible dairy
Important question,
disaster.
though. Do you include the egg yolk, or is it just the egg white?
There's a technique.
Wait,
you
do you
separate
cook the
the
egg?
eggs. You separate the eggs.
Do you cook
Watch
the
the
egg?
technique.
Okay, here we go. I'm
You
gonna
don't-
give you the whole thing. You ready here?
Okay.
For cooked eggnog, follow the procedure below. No, eggnog normally contains raw egg, which is why pregnant women.
Isn't that how
ought
you
not
get
to have it.
salmonella? Pregnant
Most
women can't have
Listen,
anything. They
I
can't
eat
have
a
eggs.
lot of
They can't
cookie
have,
though.
like,
Okay, I've never had
tuna.
salmonella.
I meant
you're not
sushi, sandwich
you
meat.
can
Well,
still get
actually, if you
salmonella
microwave
sick.
the
Yeah.
sandwich meat for like 3 seconds, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in a bowl of a stand
Oh my
mixer,
gosh, Loki,
beat
what
the
the
egg yolks
heck?
until they lighten in color. Gradually add a third of the cup of sugar and continue to beat until it's completely dissolved. Add the milk, cream, bourbon, and nutmeg. So that's the whole thing. You just whip the egg yolks and then
So
pour
it's just a
everything
boozy
else,
dairy drink.
With those egg yolks in the
that's
submission.
literally where I started. Yes. It's a boozy dairy drink that's very, very bad because of the dairy in it. But you like dairy boozy drinks specifically.
Yes, like the
See
dirty
also
cowboy.
the dirty cowboy.
Rip dirty cowboy.
Rip Dirty Cowboy.
Never
Rip,
again.
Orgasm, too.
We still haven't had that one yet.
Hey! See my expertly laid trap. Yes. Terrible.
Now, like, definitely watching the movie and no longer.
It's a little caught up in the story. It's very
He
good.
doesn't care about
yeah.
you and me talking about orgasms anymore.
Sorry, I was just faking. To listen. What are we talking about?
I can't believe I'm going to have to put a tag on our commentary track for Marvel Superhero
Hold on, you
Adventures
can't believe
Frostbite. Say
that?
this is not
Where
appropriate
have
for
you
children.
been for the past year of this
For
podcast?
profanity and sexual content. And hey, let's say nudity. Let's say nudity. Why not?
Let's say nudity.
There's just
Audio
a lot of
nudity.
reasons why you can't listen to
There's
this
a lot of
commentary track.
audio nudity.
When is our podcast's birthday?
It's coming up, right?
Well, March?
It was early in the year.
May?
Yeah. I don't remember.
March, April, May-ish.
March, April, May-ish. Springtime. I don't know. We've done, what is this, 35, 36 episodes,
I'm
something like
looking
that
it
now?
up.
Yeah.
There's Santa Claus.
Santa, why do you talk like this?
I'm no you, Santa.
I'm no
I
you.
now ship Santa Claus and Nicholas, the
Little
store
bit.
manager.
Look at that. Nicholas Stormanager.
What the fuck did
That's
you
how
just
you
say?
pronounce his surname.
No, one more time.
Stormanager.
Stormanager? You want to take that a third?
I don't.
You're adding an extra syllable in there.
I like that, though. He
Manamonomer?
deserves an
Hey,
extra
look,
syllable.
Hulk just took out all the elves with one hand. Why did you not do that before, Hulk? Why did you wait until now?
We've got an eye on the running
Narrativium is
time.
strong
Yeah,
with this
now
film.
we're ready. Now our heroes have remembered what
March
they're doing.
25th
We're Power
is the
Rangers-ing
birthday
this
of
whole
our
thing up.
podcast.
March 25th, like I said.
Our official episode was April 2nd, was our very first episode
Oh, yeah, 'cause
about
we had,
Logan.
like, a preview episode.
Yes.
Wow,
we did do a
yeah,
preview
look
episode.
at that.
I don't remember what we talked about on it, but probably how excited we were to be doing this podcast.
How excited we were to be talking about this specific animated film.
This
We
film
shouldn't
right here.
plan on the air and make promises we can't keep, but we should do something special for our anniversary.
Oh, I
that
like
would be
we
that.
fun.
should.
That was great. Okay, Loki simultaneously being hit by Cap's shield and Mjolnir on opposite sides of his head. That's a very good animation.
How is
beat
his
there. Thank you
brain
so
not
much.
like mush at this point? How is his
Loki.
brain not eggnog?
Here's a couple presents.
You
just for
guys,
Loki.
can I be honest? I think that I would be way more
Red Tail
into
gets
this.
Red Tail gets the killing blow here.
Nah, I think I'd
With the
be.
transformation of his wings back into fists there. As he just
Okay, it's a
finishes
shame that you guys
Loki
are talking
off.
about how
I'm
great
sorry.
Reptile
I'm
is.
sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. I was just
Be
going to say,
honest
I
with
think
us.
I would like this movie a lot more if Reptile wasn't in it.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real though. If it was Ripley, if it was,
If it was-
Patsy Walker, if it was
Yeah, Patsy.
any
it
of the
was like-
characters that
and
we
look,
like.
Now he's okay, all right. This movie is really inconsistent, and I am offended. I don't care. Wait. Is this the
You
part?
got over it
Hang
real
on. Wait.
fast.
Oh.
There you go. Oh,
Is Tony learning the true meaning of Christmas?
You were one of us.
he was learning the true meaning of heroism.
You did good, Humberto.
Humberto. Oh, that must be Reptile's name. His
That's
name
Reptile's
probably
name, yeah.
isn't Reptile.
It has come up previously, but yes.
I wasn't paying attention, obviously.
Yes.
Y'all, am I the weak link on this show? Oh no.
No, the weak link on this show is Reptile.
It's Red Tail. You were the strongest link on this show. It
I,
binds
I,
everything.
You are
neither
the
of you are
heart.
looking me in the eye when this
You are,
happens.
I'm looking you
I was-
dead in the eye.
I'm a little
Sarah, you are
distracted
the
by actually
heart,
watching
and
the
you
film.
know that we love you.
Well, thank you.
Didn't we work this out?
I feel
Did
like
we?
Yeah, Vinton is the ethos, you're the pathos, I am the logos. Is that not our dynamic
yes,
here?
yes, which makes
I am
me
the Hermione,
Ron
you are
Weasley,
the Ron Weasley.
You're
Yeah, there you go.
Hermione, and
Yeah.
Vinton is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my favorite Christmas movie.
I will buy that.
if Harry Potter could be a Christmas movie, then
Yeah.
Die Hard is
No,
a Christmas
if
movie.
that's our standard, yes.
That's our standard, then yeah.
Harry Potter gives me a Christmassy feeling, like particularly
And
the
yes.
first two, which are movies which I don't even like. I don't
It's
even like
because
the first
of the
two.
ABC Family like Harry Potter weekend around
There you go.
Christmas.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, at least Die Hard's at Christmas throughout the whole film.
Oh my gosh.
I have friends
Oh.
who are rewatching all the Harry Potter
We're not
shit
done.
because of the Christmas.
Here comes
Uh-oh.
Amir.
For Christmas.
Okay,
Does it,
I
though?
really
Does
like
ice
the
concrete?
He's, like,
animation on a mirror.
see-through.
Yeah, this like
Listen.
partial transparency is really good.
This is no problem. In Lego Marvel, Iron Man, his little blasters melt ice. It's how you melt the ice to get the secret.
Oh, they
thing.
gave
How
that one.
did
They
Steve
gave that
get
one
his
to
hand
Iron Man's
caught in
repulsors.
some
That's
ice
so
spikes?
good. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Oh, but then Rocket and Groot. Fuck, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting they're in
With
this
You
their
know how
Millennium
Rocket and Groot
Falcon.
are essential to this movie?
because they kidnapped
Right here.
Mrs.
Because
Claus.
of how they kidnapped Mrs. Claus. Just remember this when you go and see, Guardians Volume 3 or whatever. Just remember that there was a weird moment where Rocket and Groot
There
had
was
an
a time.
adventure and kidnapped Mrs. Claus.
It should be said while we're talking about before this movie is over, Rocket Raccoon and Groot first came together in the Annihilation comics, which are fantastic. It's when the Guardians of the Galaxy, as we know them in the movies, came together. Those comics are great. I just want to throw that out there.
Have you ever read any of the older Guardians? Like the original OG
No,
Guardians
don't
comics?
care
No.
much, actually.
Is Santa going to give them a new ship?
That would be very good, actually.
Is he going to give them
Santa,
presents?
Santa is going to tell them that the ship was in their heart all along.
Here's the question. What do each of these characters get from Santa? What is the Christmas wish that they make?
Steve gets a baseball bat. I guess. Okay, wait. Are we
Or
going
are we getting the
like?
gifts that they were
Wait, hang on,
foreshadowing
are we
earlier?
going like? Oh my God! All of the Avengers plus the spaceship are now like going along with the Santa
Yeah, the
Claus.
spaceship that's like a pirate ship of
Like,
Santa.
what the fuck is
ship.
this? Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what I'm saying either.
Groot gets Miracle Grow.
Santa just
Right?
had an aside to Reptile there where they're talking about the faux Santa, and Santa just says, "I'm getting him a new car."
I like Hulk's song here. Years of work gets done in hours. Well, he's saying fa ra 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 ra. I'm not sure why. Actually,
Somebody just got a gift card. Oh, Tony's just giving everybody a check. She-Hulk!
Yep.
hey,
Are these like?
Tony, don't sneak into women's bedrooms and give them
Don't
things
sneak
while
into
they're sleeping.
She-Hulk's
Not okay.
bedroom.
He's empowered by the magic of Santa. And now we get
Okay,
some weird
Steve
Christmas
Rogers
cards,
would
little
get
Christmas cards?
what would
Yeah.
Steve Rogers would get Bucky with a bow on him for Christmas, and like a pardon from all of the other Avengers for Bucky.
Oh, this is in MCU continuity.
Sure, yeah.
Yes,
I mean, they're my
yes,
favorite ones.
yes.
Captain Marvel gets, I don't know, a bigger, better plane, I suppose.
Sure.
Hulk gets anger management classes. Rocket gets a bigger, better ship. He and Carol become best friends. Actually, I think that happens in the comics,
Yes,
right?
they
That's a
definitely
thing.
hang out. Yes, yes.
Groot gets not
Miracle
pruning
Grow.
shears, Miracle Grow. That's right. Pruning shears would be the opposite.
Yeah, don't do that.
That little
Iron
sachet
Man.
that you get when you buy like a bouquet of flowers. You
Yeah.
just get that little plant food thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the plant food.
Groot gets. No,
just
we
said
just did
Groot.
Groot. I'm sorry. Who was I going to say instead? Iron Man. Iron Man gets
Cole.
probably Cole. Yeah, Cole, or also a pardon from all of the other Avengers.
A new cell phone.
Yeah, and Hulk gets that's everybody. We did everybody.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Loki
Yeah.
gets a timeout.
Loki gets a timeout. Quit it, Loki. You quit it.
Oh my God,
Tony
it's
does
happening!
get a present.
It's happening.
It says something.
Sarah.
but warm on. I went on a warm on. It says I went on a warm. I'm pretty sure this is
Nothing's
English.
impossible if you believe.
Look, here's a talking raccoon in a tree.
I do believe.
Okay.
Oh my God! For like that long, I
beat of
thought Mrs.
recognition
Claus
there.
was Quicksilver. Damn, put some lipstick
I
on that
know,
lady.
her hair, if you took away the bun,
It's
definitely
very
Quicksilver's hair.
Quicksilver-esque, yeah.
Oh,
What just happened to
she,
Groot?
I think turned
He's a
Groot
palm
into
tree.
pot leaf.
He's
Do you
a
remember?
Lolan
It looks
executor.
good. like a pot
Remember
leaf.
what you said when I told you we were going to watch this movie?
No.
You wailed into a microphone. Does Groot turn into a Christmas tree?
He does.
Nailed it.
But those look like pot leaves.
Yeah, it's not great. Like you've drawn 1,000 Christmas trees in the course of this movie, you guys. I don't know
That's
why that
the
one
best
looks so
Christmas
weird.
tree ever, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
The chillest
Have
Christmas?
a chill Christmas
lots,
tree.
lots of new traditions.
Have yourself
Guys,
a chillest little Christmas.
Oh,
That
pot leaf tree. Oh, pot
was Marvel
leaf tree.
Superheroes Frostfight.
Yeah.
So would you
Yeah.
like me to tell you what happened in this movie?
Yes, please tell me everything that happened in this movie.
Tony Stark learned the true meaning of Christmas.
Tony Stark did learn, in a
Is that
sense,
everything?
the true
That's
meaning of
everything
Christmas.
that happened in this
yes,
film.
yes. Though we do
No,
kind
here's
of
what happened in this movie.
painstakingly differentiate between Santa Claus and like the rest of Christmas. We're not
Which is
treading on
weird.
anyone's toes here. It's fine. This is a completely secular Santa Claus.
Sure, yeah. It's not like Santa and baby Jesus were working together to like make
no,
Christmas happen.
that's
It's
true.
okay when you get into
That's
that
in the
stuff. It
sequel.
gets
Sorry,
wild.
no, that's Frostfight 2. We'll talk about that
okay.
next
Whenever
year.
Captain
Yeah,
America
yeah.
teams up with the Jewish god Jesus,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
fights what? Prejudice?
Let me Hulk explain to you what happened in this film.
No. Let me explain what happened in this film first,
Oh, I
and then
thought
you
you
can
were
Hulk
done.
explain.
Sorry.
No. Yeah.
You said that was it. So I thought you were done.
No, I was being funny. So here's what happened in this movie. Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man,
Yep.
and some dumb sidekick that I don't
Nailed
give
it.
two shits about decided that they needed to stop Loki and a frost giant from stealing Santa's powers using the Cask of All Ages. Meanwhile, Groot and Rocket are trying to turn Santa in for the bounty so that they can get a new ship. And because Santa is missing because of Loki and the Frost Giant, Thor and the Hulk have to run around taking care of Santa's powers for the evening, thus becoming, for 12 hours, the most powerful mutants on the planet.
Well, okay.
And then
You
Groot
did it.
turns into a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Nailed it!
Nailed it. There it is.
I thought you weren't paying attention.
Swish.
Great job. Now let me Hulk explain it to you.
Yes, please.
Well, Hulk smash. Then Hulk meets Santa Claus. Then Hulk get Legos for Christmas so Hulk can smash at home.
Hulk would love Legos.
Yeah, he would. He
Would
would,
he?
Love
he would build
Legos.
them and then he would smash them. And
I feel like he
would,
needs
and then
Diplo
would smash
blocks,
them.
not
Yeah,
Legos.
like the big,
Yeah.
like
The
junior
big
Lego
ones. He
something.
doesn't
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
little
yeah. No,
ones.
that's true.
Too
Y'all,
small
what
for
do we
Hulk's
do? This
fingers.
is like one of the shortest episodes we've ever done. I don't know how we behave after
No way.
only 1
Last
hour
year's,
of recording.
last week's the Lumberjanes,
year's.
that was an hour.
Oh,
We're good.
wow.
We're already well past that point. I think we should wrap this thing up. We should,
I
though,
think so.
talk about what we're going to do when we return in January. There'll be no
Yes.
Excelsior show
Next year.
next week.
We'll
Correct.
see you guys next
wait,
year.
yes,
We'll
next
see you guys
week.
next year. That's my favorite
stupidest
show.
joke.
Next
in the
week,
world
as
that
of
I
this
love.
release, will be January 1st. So we will return the following week with the first episode of Sarah's birthday month.
Yes.
We might give you the first week of
Birthday.
February, too, just to be fair, since we're skipping the first week of
No,
January.
no, it's totally fine.
Well, we'll
Please don't
figure
make
it
me
out.
choose multiple things. It'll be okay. So what's happening is we are coming back January 8th will be the next episode that we do after this one. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that good jazz, etc. January is my birth month, and I swear to God, I'm not that obnoxious about my birthday in general. But for this podcast, we have decided that our 3 hosts each get the month of their birth to determine what we're going to be doing for the entire month of that month of their birth.
There it is.
So
Good.
I'm going to be picking everything that we're doing in January. We will be coming back on January 8th with the first volume of the Sailor Moon manga.
Is it the first volume? Do we want to do the first 2? Because it's a pretty fast read. What do you think?
We're at least going to do the first one.
TBD. Definitely the
yes,
first,
I will
maybe
read
the first
through
2.
that over
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks and see if, because it doesn't really end in the best place ever, and it would be super nice if we could actually end like the first arc where
Yeah.
the first arc ends, but we're gonna have to see. I don't remember if that takes 2 or 3 volumes,
Okay.
maybe just 2. But we're gonna talk about that, and gang, I'm super duper excited, but also horrified because Sailor Moon means something very, very precious to me, and I don't want to share it with anybody. I want to keep it safe inside of my heart where
Safe
I love
where
it
no
forever.
one can attack it
no
on the
one
internet.
can touch it. No one
you know
can
what,
attack
Sarah?
it.
I love Sailor Moon. I love that manga. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about it. Vinton, have you ever read it?
Yes, I've read the first volume
Okay.
because we were supposed to talk about it last year before
Forever
this
ago?
podcast existed.
Oh yeah!
Yes,
Still
yes,
on
yes.
Crisis
Yeah,
on Infinite
wow.
Podcast.
But I also had watched the anime previously to that when it was back in the day, the old one.
You can't do it now. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
it on January 8th. I will give you a full 5-minute where you can 5-minute segment of the show where you can rant about the 1992 Sailor Moon anime,
then Hulk
also
can Hulk
hopefully
explain Sailor
talk a
Moon.
little about Sailor Moon Crystal, right?
Sailor Moon Crystal is great, and I love
Yeah,
it.
I like that very
I
much.
watched a
I've
few
heard
episodes
good
of that one
things.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Season
For
3 is
that
the best.
episode
So
never
that
happened.
is going to be our glorious return in
Yeah.
2018. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us in 2017. It has been an absolute pleasure. And Sarah, Vinton, Merry Christmas. It has been a wonderful year of talking comics and movies with you two. This is my favorite show to record. It is an
Mine too.
absolute blast. And thank you so much for your company, your brilliance, your kindness. You're both very fine folk indeed. I'm very fond of both of you. See,
Thank
I'm
you
just
so
going to be
much.
sincere about Christmas for a minute, for like
Okay.
a
Just
for a
second.
No, that's fine.
minute.
I'll do it too. Thank you so much, Alistair, for being our producer on this show, because as somebody who is a host on this show, I know that sometimes that's basically an impossible job. And I don't know how you do it, and I don't know how every week you're not just like, I'm never doing this show again with these chuckleheads. They're the worst. But I love you both. I'm so glad that we're doing the show. This is my very favorite show to do. And yeah, thank you so much to all of our listeners. We got some really lovely, wonderful Christmas gifts from our friend Becca,
Becca, who
which
was
was
amazing.
great.
I
You
got
got
my
a stuffed
stuffed
dupe.
Yes, the stuffed dupe previously requested on this show. So now apparently this show is the secret. We can just make things happen.
I think so, yeah.
As long as Becca continues to be completely wonderful in every way. Becca, we
Yes.
adore you. Thank you
Thank
so,
you so
so
much.
much. We got wonderful cards from Carla in Portugal,
Yes.
who is wonderful. We got a
Yeah.
card from Nicole, who listens to the show.
Yes.
You all are just amazing.
You
Thank
guys
you
are
so
the
much
best.
for your
Yeah,
generosity.
you guys are the
Yes.
greatest. Yep.
That I think
Okay.
is going to do it for
I think so,
2017.
yeah.
Vinton, do you want to take us out with some love words for our listeners, some festive love words? I know that's not a thing we usually do on this show, but
Yeah.
it feels like it's a special time of year.
So even if you celebrate Christmas or don't celebrate Christmas, doesn't matter. We love you here at the show. We love you for listening. We're so excited to talk comics with you every single week, except for the weeks we don't do. And we would love for you to join in more of that discussion. We're always on Twitter, of course. We'll give those out here momentarily, but we love engaging with you. So whatever your thoughts are, whether you love all the things we hate or hate all the things we love, we still want to talk with you. You are special people. Your opinions matter. Love what you love. And as always, enjoy comic books.
You can
Very
find
good
us
words.
over on Twitter at Excelsior Cast. Collectively, you can find me at Also Grab the Salt.
I'm at Paper Bullets.
And I'm at Flesh Eater.
And I think that's going to do it for us. We don't have like an outro quote or anything.
I think so. No, we don't.
Nope.
Except maybe
Excellent.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Maybe
That's
do
very
that.
good. God
Merry
bless us,
to
everyone.
everyone. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So once again, from Common Room Radio, I'm Sarah K. Bazan.
I'm Alistair Stevens.
And I'm Vinton Bain. And Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie.
Oh my God.
Excelsior!